Hi, everybody. I'm Melissa Stark, and I'm the Executive Director for SIVA. We're going to start a little series this year where we get to meet our board members. A lot of you might know our board members, but a lot of you don't, and we get new board members every year, so we thought it'd be great to sort of have a little meet and greet. And Carmen Cernusca is my guinea pig. She is the current president of SIVA, and I always make her do things first, so thanks for doing that, Carmen.
Welcome.
So maybe just start with the basics, sort of, how long you've been on the board, where are you from, what you do in your day job, just who is Carmen?
So I've been on the board. So as president now, this is my third year of a fourth-year term. Previous to that, I was a director at large and I stood for re-election during that time. So I guess by the time I'm done, it'll be 8 years, is that? I think if my math is good. I am born and raised in the Niagara region, so I'm from Welland. If you know the canals, that's where we are. I work for the Niagara Health System. I've spent my whole career here, going on 18 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario, so we're sort of neighbors. I don't think I've been to. I'm sure I've been to Welland, but it's near Niagara Falls for those of you who aren't in the Ontario circle.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're at work right now, I presume. You've got a nice zoomed out background, blurred out background.
Yes.
I've decided to do these like informally. I'm sitting on the couch in my kitchen where the monkeys or the lemurs, whatever these these monkeys are going to be a big part of the SIVA backgrounds this year. So yeah, okay. So vascular access and fusion therapy. You've been working for 18 years, which seems crazy because I think we're the same age. But vascular access and fusion therapy, sort of, how is it part of your work? What do you, how is it part of your role? What sort of made you put your name forth for a board position?
I have worn a lot of hats in my time. I kind of don't stay still for very long. So I started out doing a project where I was standardizing needleless connectors of all things. We had sort of this crazy amount of unstandardized gear in the hospital, and I took that on. That led me to put actually my name forward when SIVA did the award with BD at the conference. And actually that year I ended up winning, going to Vancouver. And for me to get to see sort of what SIVA was about up close and personal. And, I'd been learning bits as I was doing my standardization because I had recently become an educator. And so I was trying to learn all that I could about vascular access. And so when I got to Vancouver, and I mean, it was just eye-opening for me. So I really wanted to get involved after that. I think we started the guidelines and we sent out, I think it was shortly after that the request went out. And so here we are.
Little steps, putting your name forth for an award and then coming to the conference and then putting your, for the guidelines. I think Vancouver conference was the one where we had that Neil Diamond impersonator entertainment.
We did.
Nearly Neil.
Yeah.
I
don't think there's any more sequins than were there.
And such a deep cut on that outfit.
Yes, he changed shirts, if you remember. We had wardrobe changes.
Oh, Nearly Neil. So I guess when we're taking applications for board members, we like to have a mix of people who are, with patient care every day, bedside nurses or clinicians, and also people who are in management. And so where has sort of patient care and bedside work where is that in your current role, or, how has that been a part of your journey?
So for Niagara Health, I'm a nurse educator. I sort of am the sole resource in the organization for vascular access. We don't have a team. So I just sort of, I do it because I love it. So that leads me all over the place. So sometimes, we joke, they call my cell phone the bat phone. So the phone rings off, Carmen goes. So it could be, new staff not knowing care and maintenance. It could be, we have this weird device that showed up. I'm not sure whether I'm allowed to use it. It could anything from soup to nuts, like weird, skin issues. We need to do different dressings so that we don't lose the line. Like you name it, the phone rings and off I go. So I'm no longer a frontline nurse in that, day to day, every day, that's sort of patient care, but I still spend a lot of time, meeting patients. And I always joke that half the time I spend more time chatting with them than the actual care that I've, helped with took up. But so it still gives me a chance to connect with that side of it, which, I don't ever want to leave that behind.
Yeah, I hear a lot of clinicians are like that. I was just on a few chapter calls this week where we had a virtual networking, and a lot of people are the one go-to person, and they get a call and they go. And I think that's very common, especially as there's dwindling IV teams and things like that. So you're not alone in that. Well, you're alone, but you're not the only one that's alone. Yeah.
Yeah, I do my best to sort of share all the resources. So I like my tech, and I like to build websites. So I do that so that I always joke, if I win the lottery, then everyone can kind of carry on without me.
Yeah, nice. So I guess, you've been involved in so many different ways with vascular access and infusion therapy and different roles in your last several years. Why do you think SIVA as an association, or as, vascular access as a specialty to really promote is important?
SIVAs are a national advocate really for all of those things. So I think, I really believe in this organization with my heart and soul. So everywhere I go, I put in little plugs, I things that I get involved with, I really have to kind of love and want to live, right? So if I believe in it, you'll see me and you'll hear me talking about it all the time. It brings best practices, to people who may not have realized that there was anywhere to even get them from. We try to, even if it's little tidbits of being able to share, and, that yes, there is actually a cheat sheet for that, or what, we can help you with this little bit of, because it also brings sort of any frontline nurse, I always joke, a main line to the bad gods, right? Because we're available. You've got Cicito, there's all kinds of platforms that they're open forum, right? So we try to keep everything as open. And because really without that, where would people go? In Canada, we're it, right? So in other countries, they've got multiple groups, but we're it. So we always try and, share it and really strategically plan and then act on those plans, right? It's just about being here and answering spur of the moment questions. It's planning for the future, because we know that vascular access isn't going to stay stagnant. So how do we keep up with the times and bring, what our membership needs to them?
Yeah, there's definitely lots going on sort of behind the scenes at SIVA. In the day-to-day, we're trying to get tools to people who don't know that there are tools and help them. But then, on the board side, like you said, sort of the strat planning and looking forward and really planning where the association is going to be in 5 years and how we can continue to meet those needs. And yeah, there's a lot to go on. I like how you said that, when you are going to take something on, like being on the board as a volunteer position, that you really need to love it. And so, that speaks to not wanting to take time away from your life doing something that you don't love. So what do you do sort of in your non-SIVA, non-work times? Tell me about Carmen at home.
Well, so I'm married. We have 2 girls. Ariana is 11 and a half and Callie's 9. So for anyone who ends up on a board call as we're virtual, you frequently see wandering in and out or handing off one of our rescue cat kittens, whatever happens to be the flavor at the time. I still curl 28 years later. I love the summer and just getting out there and traveling and that kind of stuff. So, the kids have a million things to do. So that's kind of where we're at in our life, but just, being with family, as we get more time together with COVID, to be able to see more people and hopefully travel once again, that's kind of what we like to do.
Yeah. Oh, you're in the tween years with your girls. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Soon they're not going to want to hang out with us.
No, they're not going to, they're going to be in the room and like, leave me alone. And are you curling, like right now we're recording this, it's January. Are you curling now? I mean, we're like have you been able to curl during COVID essentially?
So off and on. We just got word that we're going to be able to go back in again starting like February 1st. It'll start again.
Nice.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I'm not set that we'll finish the season, but
it's always
will do.
Yeah, it's always good to have something in winter to like get through winter that makes you enjoy winter, especially living in Canada and parts of Canada. So kudos on you for finding that. Mine is like just getting in a blanket and watching TV, which is not as good as currently.
I like that too, though.
Yeah, balance. So then I guess like sort of what you mentioned a bunch of features of SIVA. What would you say sort of your favorite or most used or most promoted to other people benefit or feature that SIVA offers to people?
Well, you see, now I'm biased. So, our guidelines, our OMP, because really we didn't have anything. And, it's not a disrespect to the American guidelines or the UK guidelines, but as we know, we're Canadian, we're a little different. We do things a little different here. So to have our own, and that it came from, a place of research, but we listened to our members, there was a lot of voices inside of that for the way it was written. So it was a truly collaborative effort that brings very black and white guidance to the front line to pick it up and say, okay, that's it. That's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah, the guidelines have been a huge piece for SIVA. We published them in 2019. We are going to be publishing them again, revising them 5 years later for 2024. So, really later this year, we'll be sort of putting the call out to start getting that process ready, because as you know, it takes quite a while. Hopefully the revision doesn't take as many years as the actual initial writing, but it was a great process, and they're really, really valuable. And they've been doing, so many people they're becoming the go-to, which was the goal. So whereas the INS standards might have been the go-to before, now more people are going to Canadian ones first, which is great. So yeah. And then I guess just sort of in our meet the board process, how do you generally find sort of the board experience? And you've been on the board for a while now, and next year will be your past president year, and then that'll be it. So yeah, how do you find it sort of in the day-to-day and your board experience overall?
I love it. I mean, from the beginning, I felt so welcome, and when I started, I was, the newbie, right? We had so many famous names tied to that board when I joined, and you think, oh God, these people think like, what have I, but it was great. I couldn't ask for a better team to start in with and get my feet wet. I think we still retain that, even now that we're a good bunch to work with and party with someday if we ever get yeah. I mean, I knew I wanted to be involved, like I said, so it just worked. I think we all had that same passion. So when you're all kind of working towards a common goal with the same level of enthusiasm, I think it really does, kind of, it works itself out. I can't think of, like any sort of major disagreements or anything like that, because I don't know, I think we're all just working towards that common goal, and you keep us all organized. So without Melissa, there is no SIVA.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the board changes so frequently, but it's just been a great experience with all the board members we've had over the years. And I agree, it's taking your volunteer time to come to the monthly board meetings and participate and do the work. And I've just never seen, I was not in nonprofits before. So coming to nonprofits and seeing this level of enthusiasm, like you mentioned, or dedication to this outside of your work time, it just blows my mind. Like the amount of time that you all put in, and all the members who are involved in any way, it's really inspiring. Like I don't come from a healthcare background, so it's just amazing to see, and it just gives me a lot of confidence in our healthcare system. So, well, maybe not the healthcare system, but like our healthcare clinicians who are doing the work. It just makes me feel so great about them. So thank you for putting your name forth all those years ago.
Thank you.
Well, that's it. I hope people have gotten to know you a little bit. You can reach Carmen through the website or reach out to me, and I'm happy to connect you. And yeah, thanks for doing this, Carmen.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.